What is good, y'all? It is Anime K here, and we are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about JJK. And wow, what a season we got from JJK. There were so many moments, the fights, the different characters. This season, I mean, can we call it one of the best seasons that we've ever seen? I mean, season 2 is definitely good, and for me personally, it definitely put JJK as one of my favorite animes, because before that I wasn't really on the JJK hype train. A lot of people would talk about it and I was like, yeah, it's good. I mean, even after watching season 1 and the movie, I was like, it's good, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but it doesn't really have that oomph for me. It was just missing something for me that made me really hooked onto it, and season 2 had that. The fight scenes, the different characters, Yuji's development, Gato, Gojo getting sealed, so many just moments, right? This season was all over the place, right? You would bounce from character to character, you know, one minute you'd be on Yuji, the next minute you're seeing Gojo getting sealed, the next minute Sukuna's taking over Yuji's body and he's just wreaking havoc. So this season had a lot of great moments, but I'm going to get into all the moments that I enjoyed. I'm just going to talk about them. We're going to reminisce on the season, because this season has been really good. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is the hidden inventory arc. Now, the hidden inventory arc, for me, I can't lie, it might have been my favorite out of the 2 arcs. Now, I know that's probably an unpopular opinion, but I don't know why, but I'm a sucker for them flashback arcs, some arcs in the past, and one of my favorite characters from this arc was Gato. Now, we first see Gato in JJK 0, right, and he appears and we think he's a bad guy. He's trying to take Rika away from Yuta, right, and that is the first time we see Gato, and obviously he dies in this movie. Now, the reason why I like the hidden inventory arc, because it gives us a great insight into Gojo and his loneliness and what he probably felt for so many years and what he probably feels now. And the main person I want to talk about here is Gato, because Gato was a character for me where in JJK we've not really seen a character actually make the audience think about JJK sorcerers, right? I mean, whether you agree or disagree with what Gato was trying to do, you can admit that you can at least sympathize with him, right? You can at least sympathize with what he was doing. And what I like about Gato is him and Gojo, they were so different, but that's what made their friendship so unique, because Gojo was always the laid back one. He would be chilling. He was strong, but you kind of got the feeling from Gojo that he was only there because he was strong, and he didn't really see no meaning into what he was doing. His only meaning was, I'm strong, so this is what we got to do. Whereas Gato, he kind of seen it as, look, I'm helping the weak, this is our duty. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. He has a kind of sense of duty about his doing. He's like a soldier, you know what I mean? You know them soldiers that go to war, they do it for their country, you know, they do it because they're protecting people, they're protecting the people who can't defend themselves. That was who Gato was, right? But what happens in this arc is both of their philosophies get tested, especially Gato, who 1 lets Rika die, and then 2 gets defeated by Toji, and then 3, when they go to pick up Rika's body, right, you see all them people clapping, all the humans that he's been protecting are happy that a little girl has died. A little girl, well, she wasn't really little, she was a high schooler, right? But a girl that had dreams, a girl that he met, a girl that he formed a relationship with, a girl that was just a normal human being, but happened to be a vessel for Tengen. I think it's a vessel, or I don't know what she actually was, but she's basically a vessel for Tengen, right? But what I like about this is when Gato leaves, he kind of tests Gojo philosophies, and Gojo doesn't really have much to say to Gato to stop him from leaving. And it's kind of similar to Naruto and Sasuke, where when Sasuke leaves the village and he goes to Naruto, you don't really understand me. Naruto couldn't really say anything, and he couldn't really stop Sasuke because he didn't understand Sasuke. Now, I'm not saying Gojo didn't understand Gato. It's not that he didn't understand him. I just think that he didn't put much thought into what he was doing. He just seen it as a job. Whereas Gato, you could see him throughout the season, throughout the couple episodes we've seen of him, he was really thinking about, you know, what's the meaning of my job? You know, what's the end game of this? Is the end game just death? And him seeing all his comrades die, especially that kid that dies, I forget his name, I'm so sorry, because he's there for like 1 episode, right? But when he dies, a sorcerer who was really kind, who just wanted to protect people, when he died, in his mind he just thought, what is the meaning of this? What is the end goal of this? And that's when he kills all the villagers, kills his parents, and he leaves. But I think Gato for me is what made this season, because he quickly became one of my favorite characters. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about Gato, but for me, he definitely made the hidden inventory of getting to see him and Gojo together was just a nice arc. And you know what? I said this before on one of my YouTube things, right, on my YouTube community panel, right, but the one thing I said is, if they made a slice of life out of these guys just walking around having fun, I wouldn't even mind it. But the hidden inventory arc for me gave us a lot of special characters, and it was probably my favorite out of the two arcs in terms of it made you think, right? It definitely made you really think, and that is what I love about Gato's character. Another person that we first see in the hidden inventory arc that I want to talk about here is Toji. Now Toji, for me, when he returns in the Shibuya arc, right, I freaking loved this moment. This is the moment that stuck out to me straight away when I was writing this video, because the way he just comes in, grabs the weapon off Maki, right? I think that's her name. I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names, so if I get names wrong, I apologize, but he takes the thing off Maki, takes her weapon off her, and just starts attacking that curse. And the animations on this fight, wow. I mean, Toji was moving at like 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? Just straight killing, not a thought in the world, right? The fact that his default setting is going after the person with the strongest cursed energy, it's just crazy. It just goes to show how determined and how strong Toji was at fighting when he was alive. But I think what I like about Toji is we get a little backstory of him as well, where he, you know, his wife dies, and then he tries to sell his son to the Zenin clan, so that's kind of sad as well. And I like what JJK does is, it's not that it makes us feel sorry for Toji, but at least gives us a reason as to why the way he is. Like, I feel like with Naruto, a lot of people's complaints about Naruto, I know I keep going back to Naruto, right, but you know, I'm technically a Naruto page if you think about it, so and it's my favorite anime, so I'm always going to reference that. And I think there's just so much anime could have done better. But I think with Naruto, I will admit, I guess it does make us feel too sorry for all the villains. I would say it does make us feel too sorry. Whereas Toji, we can feel sorry for him, but at the same time, dude was just a menace to society. Even in the hidden inventory arc, right, going up against a teenage Geto and Gojo, where he describes himself as basically a monkey, someone who was nothing to sorcerers. I mean, that's what he was called from his clan. He was seen as nothing because he had no cursed energy. But in return of not having any cursed energy, he got godly amount of strength. I think it's called heavenly restriction, and what heavenly restriction is, from off the top of my head, right, is basically because Toji has no cursed energy, he just gets a unlimited amount of strength and durability, right? And on top of that, sorcerers like Geto and Gojo, if he doesn't have no cursed objects or nothing that they can sense on him, they can't sense him, and that's how he's able to sneak up on Gojo and stab him in the heart. But Toji, for me, being someone that wasn't a sorcerer, but being so strong and able to go up against someone like Geto and Gojo, was just an incredible feat. I mean, you think, right, if someone told you before the hidden inventory arc that Geto and Gojo, two special grade sorcerers, were protecting Rika, right, were protecting a vessel, and Toji, someone with no cursed energy, has a lot of strength but no cursed energy, was going to defeat them, you'd probably think he would. I mean, when I first seen it, I thought it'd be a hard fight, but I thought Geto and Gojo were gonna handle Toji pretty well, but no, he nearly kills both of them, right? And if it wasn't for Gojo using his reverse curse technique, and for some reason I forget how Geto survived, right, I think he was healed by Shogo, but the fact that he was able to take on two special grade sorcerers, right, which they were special grade sorcerers at the time, and nearly kill them and then kill Rika and just collect the money like a badass, right, I think was just incredible. And Toji, for me, was definitely one of the characters, another character for me that stood out in this scene. And then seeing him get to see his son for the last time as well, and seeing him, one, save his son, even though I don't know if that was his main goal, but he ended up saving his son, and then two, offing himself after, before doing that, asking him what's his name, and then when he finds out that he's not a part of the Zenin clan, you see him smile and he dies. Look, was he the best father? No. Literally left his son and was going to sell him to the Revi clan that abused him. Even though Megumi was strong and he probably wouldn't have been abused as much, but still, I mean, no one would really want to send a kid there, would they? But the fact that he at least gets to go out on his own terms the second time, and he at least gets to see his son before he died, but for me was definitely a great moment. And again, Toji, like Geto, was definitely a character that stood out to me in this season. And you know what? If they do a whole arc of Toji's past and him just kicking people's ass, I'd love that. And I don't know why more animes don't do more spin-off shows, because so many more animes would make so much more money. I don't know why they don't just do spin-offs, but anyway, on to my next point. Now, a couple people might get mad at me for this next take, but I want to talk about Sukuna versus Jogo. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys will agree with me with this, but this fight, for me personally, it was just mid. I'm sorry, I know the animations were sick, I guess, but for the most part, you couldn't even see what was happening, right? They were moving that fast, but I don't know what I even watched. Like, I literally watched it a couple times and I was like, I mean, I guess the animation is sick, but is it even possible to over animate? Because I feel like that's what they did, because this fight, I was watching it and I don't know what was going on. And to be honest, it wasn't even my favorite Sukuna fight of this arc. I think him against Maharaga was definitely a better fight. The fight was more intense, there was more at stake. You know why he wants Megumi if you see later on in the manga. I've read a bit of the manga, right, or I've seen a bit of panels. I won't spoil it here, but you know why he wants Megumi, right, to survive. Go up against Magaraga. Magaraga, a curse who, after taking one hit from your shot, can memorize that shot and knows how to defend against it. So say if, I don't know, Sukuna was to throw a fireball at him, now he's immune to fire. Maharaga can basically adapt to any move. So this fight was high stakes. And you know what, even though this fight, like Jogo's, was high animated, I feel like they animated this fight a lot better, right? And there was more at stake. And for me personally, I enjoyed this fight more. And the Jogo fight, I'm sorry, I feel like Jogo deserved a better fight. I feel like he should have gone out better. Now, you went out to the King of Curses, fair enough, but why did he even fight Jogo in the first? Does Sukuna just like fighting? Because, like, I know he's the King of Curses, but dude seems like he doesn't want to team up with anyone. He seems like he's just a lone wolf. But in my opinion, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but the Sukuna versus Jogo fight, it just wasn't really one of my favorite fights in this season. I just don't think it was that good. But let's move on to my next point before people get angry in the comments. Now, the next person I want to talk about here is Mahito. Now, Mahito is someone who forces you to like him. Now, it's not that I didn't like Mahito. I loved Mahito's character, right? But he's like a villain, and he's one of those villains where he just seems so slippery and he just can't be killed. But this season, he was just a straight menace. I mean, he was responsible for 3 sorcerers dying, and them sorcerers being Megamaru, Nanami, and Kurosaki. And look, the Megamaru fight was really good. It was a great fight, right? I enjoyed that fight, but I more want to touch on Megumi and Nanami. And the reason I want to touch on these two is because the development of Yuji in the season was just incredible, but I don't think he could have had this development without Mahito. And these two, you know, being 2 sides of the same coin, being so similar, which was heavily touched upon in this arc, was a straight genius for me. And these two, I kind of wish Mahito would have survived at least for another season, because these two's chemistry on screen was just incredible. But what I want to talk about is when he kills Kurosaki and Nanami. Now, Yuji is looking for more curses and he's running down, right? He doesn't know that Mahito and Nanami are there fighting, right? But when he comes down, he sees Mahito kill Nanami right in front of his face. And what does Mahito proceed to do? Proceeds to just laugh at him, right? And then they start fighting, and Mahito, well, I can't lie, he has the upper hand in the fight for the most part, right? And he's just fighting back Yuji, and he's just laughing at him, and his whole goal is just to break Yuji down. Now, when he realizes that Kurosaki is outside, he splits himself up and he goes to fight Kurosaki. That is another great fight in the show, I'll admit. Kurosaki definitely shows her stuff. But what makes it even more sad about her showing her stuff and being one of the best female characters in the show is her death. And again, just like with Nanami, right, Yuji can't do anything but watch as he grabs her face, and you see her holding an eye and you think, maybe she'll survive. Come on, she's a main character. Nope, the author of JJK, he doesn't care. Main character, not main character. If your name's not at least Yuji, you're dying. And Kurosaki dies right in front of his face. And the development of Yuji in this season, like I said, is just being amazing. Their on-screen chemistry, like I just said, was amazing. And then you get the scene where Mahito is basically crawling and Yuji is chasing him. Now, I know you got the whole Todo fight before that, which was amazing as well. I will admit, don't worry, just because I'm not going into it in this video, I love Todo, right? He's an amazing character, right? I love him. But when you get the scene where he's walking away from Yuji and Yuji is walking after him, right? It's just badass. Tell me you did not fall in love with Yuji's character right there. Tell me you did not think he is him. Now, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. He doesn't kill Mahito by himself. He does need a lot of help to kill Mahito, but he was a big reason why Mahito died. Now, I think the only thing that ruined this rivalry with them two and ruined this whole thing for me is that obviously Gato comes and eats him and takes his ability, which I think was kind of like a not a Madara moment in like what it meant for the show, but more of a, at least would have preferred for him to have at least died and then maybe Gato takes his thing. I don't know if he can't take curses once they die, but at least preferred for Yuji to have finished him off. But obviously Gato comes, or the person that's in Gato's body, I won't spoil that because I don't think it's even been revealed of who he actually is, right? But wow, Yuji and Mahito's rivalry was one of the main things that I enjoyed about this season, and Mahito was one character that pushed Yuji to be one of the best characters in the show right now. And you see Yuji with that scar on his face, which I'll tell you guys that now that scar sticks, it doesn't go away. And even you see at the end where Yuji's wearing all black. Wow. And let me just backtrack a second, guys. I want to talk about here where Yuji finally admits that, yeah, me and you, Mahito, we're the same. If you come back as a curse again, I'll kill you. If you come back as the same curse, I'll kill you. If you come back as a different curse, I will kill you. And the fact that Yuji finally accepts that they're the same, and he just goes, look, there's nothing to what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep killing curses until I die. Incredible. Incredible. And if you look at it, Mahito and Yuji are the same, because Mahito killed humans just because. He doesn't have a reason for it, he just does it. And Yuji, he kills curses just because. Now obviously he does it because he wants to protect everyone, but he doesn't have like a strong sense of patriotism or a strong sense of duty like Gato does. He just kills them because he's a strong kid who got found by JJK High and they told him, come with us or you're gonna have to die, and he just does it. But there's not really a strong reason why he's doing it. And to kind of end this video off here, right, we've got to end it off with the two special grade sorcerers that returned, which, one, right, where was you when Gojo was getting sealed? Yuta and Yuka, Where was you? Yuki and Yuka, sorry, where was you? Gojo was there getting sealed and you guys were nowhere to be seen. Now what really shocked me at the end of the season is Yuta, so I keep saying Yuka, I'm so sorry. Yuta wants to kill Yuji, right? And it doesn't really go into a reason why he wants to do it, but I'm guessing it's because, right, like the other guy, a lot of people, they wasn't sure about Yuji even surviving. It was actually Gojo that said, I want Yuji to survive. But now Gojo's been sealed, it looks like Yuji's gonna have to be eliminated, because what they're basically saying is it's kind of like the Naruto situation where he has a vessel in him, and really they're just scared of Sukuna coming out again, because if you look how much damage Sukuna caused, I mean, I would be afraid as well. But the one thing we've seen at the end of the season is Yuta wants to kill Yuji. I'm so sorry. All these names that begin with Y are literally giving me a headache. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just preference that. Yuta, Yuki, Yuji. I keep getting them mixed up. But Yuta wants to kill Yuji. And then we see that Yuji has been sentenced to death and Yuka must carry it out. And we see him at the end with his brother wearing all black. And I don't think this is going to be a transition of Yuji turning into a villain, but I think season 3 Yuji is going to be freaking sick. And this ending to season 2 was just icing on the cake. That is how you end a season of an anime. That is how you end a season. And this season for me, it's been one of the best seasons I've seen from an anime personally. Just, there wasn't one moment of this season that was dull. Wasn't one moment. Now guys, I just want to tell you guys, if any of you guys want to read the manga, I'll get it up for you guys now. I'll tell you where it finishes off from. Someone commented under the video on Crunchyroll. I think it is 138. So that is where season 2 ends, is 138, right? So me, I'm gonna be reading the manga. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna start reading the manga and I'm gonna enjoy it. But look guys, there were so many more incredible moments in the season that I didn't even mention. I didn't even go into too much. Obviously I didn't go into Kurisaki's death too much, but this season for me, like I said, was one of the best seasons. And yeah guys, tell me your favorite moments in the comments though. Tell me what you like. Tell me how you feel about Yuji being sentenced to death. Do you think he'll be killed? I doubt it, but it could happen. I mean, the JJK author is not shy, or doesn't shy away from killing main characters, so it could happen. But look, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. This has been Anime K. Thank you for watching, listening, or however you choose to indulge in my content, and peace. I am out.